Okay, Granny, what's the secret of marriage?
Let your husband be the head. And you do what's right, even though he might be wrong, but he's still the head, like God is the head, and he let whatever that's supposed to happen, happen. Honor your husband with love and kindness.
And don't go to bed upset?
Don't never go to bed upset.
Joab said, don't do it.
That's the key, huh?
Oh, yes.
Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakvadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. And this elder lady came straight up out the scriptures. All right. Everything she said was straight up out the scriptures. And I was actually surprised going into the comments. I thought, I seen a lot of rebellious women in there, but I also seen women that agreed with what the elder woman said. And that's what surprised me, because usually I only see, rebellious women. Some of them was talking about when she said to do what's right even if he's wrong. Some people had a problem with that, but why would you do wrong just because somebody else is doing wrong? All right, because a lot of these women like to argue, like to get revenge, like to be rebellious. But what is that going to bring? It's just going to bring more problems. All right. Just because you see somebody else doing wrong, you're not supposed to do wrong, or you're not supposed to bring evil back on them because they did wrong. They made mistakes. All right. I'm going to open up with Titus chapter 2 and verse 1 says, "But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and peace." Here we go. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. All right. And today, in the society, you see a lot of women that's the complete opposite of this, not holy, not separate, false accusers. A lot of men get locked up behind women, get their children taken away. I see a lot of drunk women. I see drunk women. They be traveling, they be walking in the streets drunk. That's wicked, man. That's dangerous. Teachers, it says, teachers of good things. Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober. And that's what the elder woman is doing. She's being a teacher of good things, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah be not blasphemed. All right. All right, it goes into men, but she was going into that, how to love your husband, how to submit, be obedient to your husband. A lot of women have problems with that, and some of them in the comments was talking about, she said husband, and they, they always do that when it comes, down to the subject of being submissive or following somebody. They say, oh, you gotta act like that to your husband. But really, you go into the scripture, there's no such thing as a boyfriend. That's what, this society has created, the whole boyfriend, the so-called boyfriend, girlfriend thing. People be laying with each other, and they think they just so-called boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, if if a woman gonna give up, her body to a man, and just consider him as her boyfriend, what's what is that husband gonna value about you? You giving up your body to a man you just so-called you call your boyfriend. So what's so special about you when you try to look for a husband? What's that husband gonna want from you? You already gave, a a lot of these women ran through, you know, and actually, I'm gonna bring out, after I grab these other scriptures, I'm gonna bring out another post I seen, clicking the wrong one. Ephesians chapter 4 tells a woman, you know, the elder woman said not to go to bed angry. It's Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Be angry and sin not, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil. All right. So like the elder woman was saying, you don't want to, you know, be angry and go to sleep. All right. Grab when she was talking about the head, you know, that the Lord is the head. So like the man is the head of the woman. All right. But this Salaki, this for the other post I've been meaning to get. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. All right. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoring his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoring her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaven. All right. So the main focus is verse 3. All right. The Lord is the head, you know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is the head of the man, and we're the head of women, okay? And, you know, a lot of women say that they want a man to lead them, but they have a problem when it comes to them being submissive. You can't be led and you're not being submissive. All right. Here it is. You got a problem with being submissive, but you talking about, oh, men need to lead. Well, which one is it? You gonna be submissive or not? Because in order for you to follow somebody, there's a form of submission that has to be in place. You gotta submit yourself in order to follow somebody. All right. But I want to bring out the other post. All right, it says full transparency. This is just me screen recording my video again because like it keep muting my video for some reason when I post it, and it's the only way I know how to fix it. You know, the other thing I want to add, you know, I don't know if I slipped with my speech. I meant to say the Lord Yahweh is the head of Yahweh Shah. And I'm saying Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they're both, you know, they're the head of us as the men. Okay. I don't know if I said it backwards or I said it wrong in the video previously, but that's what I meant. That Yahweh is the head of Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah is the head of us, and we're the head of the women. All right. Another thing I want to add is, you know, because the woman talking about you have to act this way or treat your husband like that. Why would a man try to get in a situation with you not knowing what he getting into? Because if you're using that logic, why would a man want to, you know, make you his wife if he don't even know how you sincerely gonna act, how you genuinely gonna act? If he gotta wait to actually marry you, then he's stuck with you and he find out you a whole demon, you know, just think about that, man. So as women, you know, supposed to show how you really are, you know, when you're with a man already. Then when y'all get to a point where, you know, y'all lay down with each other and, you know, y'all become one flesh. Okay, you know how you already act. You know, well, some of them can change and start acting like a demon after, but why would a woman think this man will want to marry her if she feel like, oh, I don't have to act respectful or show that I can be submissive or show that I am submissive and the other traits of a sincere woman, you know, you know, before even getting into that situation. Why would a man want to like risk that, you know? If y'all get what I'm saying. It's basically like trying to, you know, I use this analogy all the time. It's like somebody buying a car and not actually test driving it. Not knowing anything about the car. They're like, okay, I just want the car. I'm going to just buy it. Don't know any history on the car. Don't know if the car has any problems. Doesn't know, you know, if the car even runs. Haven't even seen a car like that. Don't know nothing about the car. But the seller expect you to just buy it. It's the same thing. Like, why would a man want to marry a woman if, you know, he don't even know how she really act? Because in her mind, she like, oh, I don't have to be respectful. I don't have to do this because he's, you know, he's not my husband. All right. Which, of course, there are certain limits on what a woman should be doing if she courting somebody. But y'all get the point. Like the simple stuff like her showing that she can follow, showing that she can be submissive, showing that she's respectful, and things like that. Simple things. Why would a man, you know, like I said before, risk that if he don't even know if you that way or not? But I'm going to continue the screen recording. I've been alone for a long time now, but this is the first time in a long time that I've been lonely. All right. Most of my friends are married or in relationships, so I'm always third wheeling, being out with a couple now, or just being by myself. And making more friends doesn't help. I have no shortage of platonic, intimate bonds, but that's not the type of intimacy my heart is craving. Society keeps telling women to love themselves as if self-love will ever replace the desire of romantic love. And they also tell us to be strong and we don't need no man to define us, as if admitting you want to be loved makes you weaker than pretending you don't care. All right. And it's a lot of women, you know, it's actually a lot of women that's starting to realize they've been fooled by society. I'm starting to see more and more women every day saying that they've been fooled by society. Telling them, you know, the feminist movement telling them that, oh, you don't need a man. You're strong. You don't need a man. You can do all this stuff by yourself. You better off alone. And women starting to see, like they've been knowing it the whole time. They know it doesn't feel good. You know, they know that doesn't feel good for a woman to be lonely. The scriptures itself even said it's not good for a man to be alone. So how much more a woman? All right, they know it don't feel good. They just put on the front. You know, that's why you see it pushed out heavy on social media, women giving other women bad advice and hyping them up. It's because, like, if you want to be a feminist yourself, just do that yourself. Stop trying to force other women to, you know, be in that mindset. That's why a lot of women get on social media when they see a woman in order, they're gonna call that woman a pygmy. Why are they doing that? Because they're bitter themselves. And they need, that saying, I think it goes like misery loves company. All right. So they need other people around because they're miserable. They need other people so they don't feel as bad. So they feel like, oh, we all in this together. All right. Because this woman is an example. She see her, her friends in relationships and marriages have children. And she go home, she like, oh, I don't have anybody. Because she be BSing around her whole life. These women want to live in pleasure like the scriptures say. See that living in pleasure is dead while she lives. All right. These women like to live in pleasure, sleep around, be a harlot, when they have a chance to have a husband. Because, man, a lot of these women have gotten in a position where they could have had a husband, but they, you know, they turned that man down because they want to, you know, live in their pleasure, you know, be a harlot, do whatever they want to do, have so-called fun, and then later on they want to go back to that dude when, you know, it's not as fun anymore. They want to go back to the so-called, you know, the good guy. All right. Now keep reading. It says, I feel vulnerable enough to share this because I know there's a lot of men and women that can relate. Loneliness is a very real emotion, Salakia, and don't let anyone make you feel desperate for admitting you feel it. This season of loneliness is self-inflicted. I haven't been held by a man in a really long time. I haven't dated or slept with anyone in a long time. I went through a lot in the past, and I finally gave myself permission to heal. So now, you know, now she ready to have a marriage, a serious relationship. And this healing, I have to separate logic from emotion. And this is what men been talking about this for the longest time. You know, these women are emotional. They react based off their emotions first instead of logic. All right. That's why you may have a conversation with a woman, and whenever she start the conversation, whenever she try to get her point, it start with I feel. Well, I feel like this. I can't say I had a conversation with a man and he said, oh, but I feel like this though. This how I feel. I don't think I had a conversation with a man that says that, you know. Because, you know, in order to, you know, see the reality of something, you got to put your emotions and your feelings to the side. Your emotions, your feelings don't matter. All right, because that's just a personal thing. It said, logically, I need to continue on the path I'm on because the men I've chosen weren't good for me. So until I do better by myself, I have to stay by myself. That's the logic. Okay. Now she says, my long-term goal is marriage and more children. See? Partnership and stability. Being comfortable. Protection and support. All right, so I have had to consciously choose to put my long-term goals over my temporary satisfaction. All right. So there you have it. She basically in her right mind though, because she see that, you know, that lifestyle is not so fun. You know, it to them, you know, when the women younger, it's fun because they younger. But when they get older, you know, they start to hit, you know, 30s and they realize, oh, I'm still single. I don't have a husband. I don't have a head over me. I don't have nobody leading me. I don't have, protection from a man around me. I'm lonely. That's, you know, that stuff get old, man. 30 and, you know, so-called dating. 30 sleeping around. You know, these women, you know, get older. They see other people with families, you know, married, children and all that. That it make them feel bad about themselves. Because it's an honorable thing. The Lord views a married woman as an honorable thing. All right, and let me grab that scripture. It's in Sirach. Chapter is like 20. I'm gonna pull it up on here so y'all can see it too. Okay, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 26 and 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Okay, where's that other scripture? 26, a woman, 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. All right. Hebrews 13:4. It says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefilable, but whoremongers and adulterers, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will judge. Okay, so it's an honorable thing for a woman to be married and for a woman to have children. Okay. First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 14. Let me see. 14. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. So like I can't speak today, man. For some are already turned aside after Satan. Okay. And so Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, tells the younger women to marry. Okay. Not be harlots, not live in pleasure, because if you living in pleasure, man, it's, it seems nice for the moment, but later on you're gonna regret it. All right. That pleasure is only temporary. All right. Sometimes, we gotta suffer, we gotta be patient, to get the nice things. All right. Your flesh, the flesh want to do what's, against the Lord. And, the things of, your pleasure, the things of the flesh is pleasure to us because we in this sinful bodies. But, you got to fight it. You got to resist it. Okay. I think I'm going to close out with that. I'm going to just play the video one more time.
Okay, Granny, what's the secret of marriage?
Let your husband be the head.
And
you do what's right, even though he might be wrong, but he's still the head, like God is the head, and he let whatever that's supposed to happen, happen. Honor your husband with love and kindness.
And don't go to bed upset?
Don't never go to bed upset.
Joab said, don't do it.
That's the key, huh?
Oh, yes.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to close out with that, giving out praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.